So his parent died and directly came to me of like, nope, I need help getting through this. And so immediately it was Rescue Remedy and then Star of Bethlehem to help them get through the shock and be able to just kind of process the information.
You talked about it, how the remedy is delivered, and just as you were talking, I had this vision. You know, we're talking about energy science. Is there any integration that people are taking these essences internally, but does it happen on an energetic outside the body? I mean, like, what if somebody doesn't want to ingest it?
They are incredibly safe. They have no side effects. They're not addictive. They don't interact with any medications. It's impossible to overdose with them. Like, it's safe for children, pets, plants, women who are pregnant, anybody really. Because they're very gentle. It's not a medication in any way, shape, or form. It's something to help through whatever emotional situation you might be going through.
I've given her the rescue remedy, and I expected like the magic wand, bippity boppity boo effect, and that didn't happen. Welcome to Noetic Alchemy, where ancient wisdom meets modern day life. I'm Sophia West, your guide on a journey to awaken, inspire, and empower. Together, we'll explore the mysteries of the universe, dive deep into the realms of Atlantis, and ignite the spark of light within. In this space, we'll uncover tools to navigate today's challenges by aligning with harmony in a world of shifting energies, transcending the illusion of division, and cultivating inner peace amidst collective transformation. We'll cover topics such as grounding practices to harnessing biophotonic light, from the art of sacred self-care to decoding the spiritual shifts of our time. This is your sanctuary for enlightenment and empowerment. Be sure to subscribe and join our growing community of light seekers and change makers. Together, we'll rise, evolve, and illuminate the path forward, one conversation at a time. Welcome to Noetic Alchemy, a space where ancient wisdom meets modern energy science. I'm Sophia KeyRaphael West, and here we will explore the hidden dimensions of healing, of consciousness, and transformation. And in each episode, we'll journey into practices like energy work, typically Reiki, chakra balancing, quantum field work, and root cause therapy, always with the intention of helping you awaken your inner light and embody your highest truth. This is more than a conversation. It's an activation. So take a breath, open your heart, and let's step together into the field of Noetic Alchemy. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of Bach Flower Remedies. These natural flower essences were created in the 1930s by Dr. Edward Bach, and they're still being used around the world as a gentle way to support emotional well-being. To guide us through this topic, I'm joined today by Jessica Rodriguez, a Bach flower practitioner who's been helping people explore and benefit from these remedies for over 5 years. Jessica is from Monterrey, Mexico. So welcome, Jessica. I'm so excited you're here, and I can't wait to hear more.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here. I hope this is useful for anybody that has never heard about these before.
I'm just so excited because I know a little bit about it. Like, I've used the gel things, the little things you suck on, and I've given Bach Remedy Rescue for my pets, but that's about as far as I know. So what about the origins of this? Can you get a little bit deeper for us and tell us what exactly are Bach Flower Remedies?
Of course. So Bach Flower Remedies are a natural system of flower essences that was developed by Dr. Edward Bach in the 1930s. There are 38 different remedies that is just linked with a very specific emotional state. Dr. Edward Bach discovered these through his own observations, going out in nature and observing each different plant from where these remedies actually come from. They aren't physical medicines in the way that herbs or supplements are. These are more subtle. They work at a more energetic level. And they gently support our emotions, helping us return to balance when struggling with different things from worry to fear, sadness. They can also help through any kind of emotional crisis. And as well, they can also help to deal with easing or dealing with different types of physical ailments.
Interesting. You know, I've been an aromatherapist, certified aromatherapist since the early 2000s, and I use essential oils a lot. So this is a very different thing. This is not an essential oil. This is an essence. So it's a different part of the flower.
Exactly. So the Bach flowers are actually made by infusing the flowers in pure water and then preserving the essence of each flower with a little brandy. And they'll usually be taken as drops or right under the tongue, or they're diluted in water, or as you've said, they have there's a brand that has actually sells them as these little like gels, or like at least the little what's the word? I'm sorry.
Well,
The
it was like a lozenge or a
the glass,
candy.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
like the little candies to help as a more easy, accessible remedy for everyday use.
Interesting. Well, so I know that you already told us that Dr. Bach had observed the flower essences and the different ways they interacted with people and the people interacted with them, but what inspired him to create them?
So he actually had to start as a physician and then as a bacteriologist, and then he actually went into homeopathy as well before going into Bach Flower Remedies. He strongly believed that the emotions play a huge role in everybody's health. So his goal was to be able to create a system that was safe, simple, and natural, something that anybody could use to help support themselves. Through his work as a physician, as a bacteriologist, and then even homeopathy, he saw how there was always some sort of pain or some sort of injury made to try to help the person to get to their well-being. So he wanted to find a way that he could help people without causing any sort of lasting pain or damage along the way. His philosophy was really about harmony between mind, body, and spirit as the key to well-being.
Yeah, I love that because I know that in my work I'm going to go out on a limb here and say 100% of what happens to us has an emotional root cause. So having the holistic approach and that harmony between the body, mind, and spirit, and having an external tool to help with that is amazing. Actually, how do they work? I mean, can you give us a little bit more detail on the behind the scenes things? How
Course.
how remedies work. What happens when someone takes these remedies?
Of course. So when somebody takes the Bach Flower Remedies, they are really working on energetic level, helping to subtly shift our emotional patterns. So some people will notice an effect very quickly. They'll react immediately to whatever remedy is helping them, especially with blends like Rescue Remedy, which is one of the ones that we can find most commonly in stores and things like that. That is designed for moments of acute stress, of something very shocking, of something that needs to be dealt with in the moment, something to help the person get through.
No, well, it's just really interesting. I mean, you talked about it, how the remedy is delivered, and just as you were talking, I had this vision. We're talking about energy science.
Yes.
Is there any integration? I mean, obviously the people are taking these essences internally, but
Mhm.
does it happen on an energetic outside the body? I mean, like, what if somebody doesn't want to ingest it? Because I believe our energy field, we project our heart coherence outward as far as we can. What about it coming into our energy field? Can that work as well?
Personally, I believe that they can, as I've had this happen in different situations where I feel like maybe I'm working with a person on another sort of energy work, and it's like something that comes into my head of like, oh, this flower is really needed right now. And so kind of pushing that energy of the essence, I've personally seen how that can help people as well. But for quicker, I think, understanding, or for people, the more easiest way for people to really absorb these flowers is directly through the drops. I think like direct drops on directly through under the tongue are the quickest way for the body to absorb and have the effect of the flower essence. Help
So
people.
that'll give like almost immediate, if not very quick, um, efficacy for moments of acute stress.
Exactly, definitely. If somebody wants to deal with another issue that would take longer, there's also that aspect of a long-term situation or a long-term therapy, which would be done in accompaniment with a practitioner that can help you through that to really deal with deeper issues that will take a longer time for the patterns to shift for the emotions to be able to make those emotional changes through the person within.
That's really interesting because I know. So I have two little mini Aussies. One's super chill, like nothing bothers her. You could like vacuum around her. You could, a gun could go off. No, it's fireworks, nothing. But I have another one that is super high strung. Take her in the car, and she's like, And I am super, super against any pharmaceuticals, any prescription pharmaceuticals in
Hmm.
my own body. I don't want to do it to my dogs too. So I've given her the rescue remedy, and I expected like the magic wand bippity boppity boo effect, and that didn't happen. So now I'm kind of sitting back thinking, wow, maybe I should just give it to her daily. And is it that more long term thing where I've got to have it in her system, and then in a week, a month, or whatever, that it's actually going to make that shift because it's a long term situation, not a short term bippity boppity boo.
Yeah, it definitely could be. And with animals, it's a little bit different just because we can't communicate with them in the same way. So we wouldn't, we don't, it's hard to pinpoint exactly what is causing the agitation. But definitely, with animals, if they don't, because I have two dogs as well, and I do use Bach flowers with them as well, just to help me through when one of them was a puppy. I don't know if we've gotten through her teething phase without the the help of the Bach flower remedies,
Okay, cool.
because that really helped her to just kind of like calm down and relax a little bit without taking up the intent behind it. She's still a puppy. The natural personality of whoever is taking these remedies will still be there, but it's just going to help them to manage the situation.
I love that statement because that's exactly why I, push back from any kind of medicine for anxiety or depression for humans because their natural personality gets stifled or numbed. And that's something that, in order to get one thing, you're damaging something else. So I love the fact that these remedies can allow you to be you and still have some effect that is positive for helping you navigate, everyday life.
Mhm.
So how could give us some practical examples, everyday examples of how people, I know we talked about pets too, but how people might use Bach flower remedies.
Yeah, of course. I personally use Bach flowers every day in my everyday life, as you said, like just for the simplest of things. But a few of the most common uses that people generally would use Bach flowers for are if you're nervous before any type of test, job interview, any type of big event. I know that I've helped some people like through their wedding week, like just to manage all the expectations of that. And flowers like Mimulus or Rescue Remedy or Rock Rose that are tailored specifically for moments of fear or anxiety can help them through those. When your mind won't stop racing at night or just during the day, like you need to get stuff done, but you can't, like your mind just won't calm down. White chestnut is one of the best flowers to help to calm the mind and calm all those repetitive thoughts.
Is that like for somebody who has attention deficit or just a worry rate?
No, it's more for kind of like a worry of like you have your mind racing with specific issues or maybe several issues, but like your mind just won't stop turning. Then white chestnut would be more apt for that.
Okay.
For attention deficit, sometimes I feel like it would probably, what would help the most would probably be a blend of maybe something like clematis or with adding white chestnut to it as well. And just depending on the particular situation, there could be a blend made specifically to help the person with the information that pertains specifically to their case, to actually to help them to be able to concentrate with more ease. People that have struggles with confidence, they could take large to help them with that self-belief. For grief, for their a big emotional shock, Star of Bethlehem is one of the best flowers to kind of like out of that shock. Impatience is one of the better ones when for people that are very quick tempered or very impatient,
Interesting.
like the flower is called, to help
Impatience.
them, yeah, to help bring some calm into their everyday life, to on how they're handling everyday situations.
So, okay, so from what I'm hearing you saying is, can these be combined? Like, would a practitioner, like you as a practitioner, if somebody wanted to reach out to you and told you I have like five of those things that you just said, what could what could you mix up for me, or would I take those separately at different times of the day? Is that something that can happen? Can you combine them?
Definitely. So for specific situations, if you go with a specific practitioner, they can help you with creating blends for each specific situation. So as an example, somebody that struggles with sleeping, it's easy to, there are some formulas that could be called like a general formula that you can find. And it's like, yes, this remedy is going to help you sleep overall. But if we go deeper into it, everybody has a different reason why they can't sleep. Maybe you're having nightmares. Maybe your mind won't stop racing. Maybe you're sleeping, but you wake up tired. So depending on those specific situations that are the root cause of the problem, then the blend could be targeting the specific issue to help the person overcome whatever they're dealing with, in this case, sleeping.
That's an excellent point, because I think when people go to the store and they go to the Bach Flower Remedies section or
Hmm.
section, and they
Yeah.
see the the flower essence and they see what it's for, and say for sleep example, they get sleep and they try it for a week and nothing happens, and they say, oh, it doesn't work. But I love what you said, because they might not be sleeping due to a variety of reasons. It's just not sleep in general. It's not like it's going to be like some kind of sleeping pill that's going to knock you out. It's something that addresses the disruption that's in your system that's causing the not being able to sleep.
Yes, exactly. And so as they can, so the flowers as by themselves, they can definitely help with issues, as I've mentioned. Like, well, yeah, if you are struggling, if you just want some confidence for a specific situation, yeah, large definitely is going to help you with that. But if you are having a deeper issue, like if you actually go with a practitioner that can help you create that specific blend, it will be a lot more impactful
Impactful.
for the,
Makes total sense now that I hear that. That's not something that I was even thinking about before.
yeah,
So thank you for that insight.
of course.
So wondering about safety, and are there any misconceptions, and how readily accessible are they? I mean, are
Yes.
Bach flowers safe, and can anyone use them?
They are incredibly safe. They have no side effects. They're not addictive. They don't interact with any medications. It's impossible to overdose with them. Like, it's safe for children, pets, plants, women with who are pregnant, anybody really. Because they're very gentle. It's a very gentle aid. It's not a medication in any way, shape, or form. It's something to help through whatever emotional situation is you might be going through.
Interesting. So that goes into the misconceptions arena. So are there any common misconceptions that you know of that people come to you with?
Sure. The most common misconceptions are that people will confuse them with aromatherapy or with herbal medicine. Just they think plants and they go with like, oh, it's like these things because it's something that's more commonly known. But they're neither. They're a very different type of help. They are very vibrational remedies, as we mentioned. They are impacting, they're shifting the energy in a subtle way to help the body manage what the issue that is going on. And they can support physical substances. This is in no way meant to replace any sort of medical treatment, but to complement it to help any process to go easier and for the person to deal with whatever they're going through in a more emotional would to lead to more emotional well-being throughout whatever process.
Beautiful. And so, I've seen them in my area. Like I've gotten the pet rescue remedy
Yeah.
and the little lozenges in my local organic store. But are they available, readily available? Where can people find them if they don't have, like I do, I have an organic store nearby?
Yeah. Usually they are readily available in most health food stores and various pharmacies, and online you can easily find them as well, and you can find the single remedies, so each individual flower, or the blends such as Rescue Remedy. And for example, for pets, the ones that's most readily available is a rescue remedy for pets. But as we said, for deeper work, you can find a consultant, a practitioner to create those personalized mix, those blends that will go deeper into whatever issue someone is dealing with. And to find a practitioner really is just doing some research on in your area, because I'm sure that there are more than a lot. There are a lot of practitioners worldwide, even not even just in the U.S., but it would depend just in each area for you to find the best practitioner for you to consult.
So yeah, in the beginning when I introduced you, I said you were from Monterrey, Mexico, and so I'm assuming that even worldwide, there is the availability to purchase them in stores, or do they have to get them online?
I can't speak for the whole world, of course.
Okay.
I know for yeah,
Right.
but I know for Mexico, the easiest way to get them is online or through specific practitioners that will be able to provide the flowers as well. But for example, I was recently on a trip to Italy, and in the pharmacies, just like in any general pharmacy, they had a section where they had the Bach Flower Remedies available. So I know in Europe, in most places, you would be able to find them rather easily. Online is the one place where you will definitely find them, no matter where you are.
So, as far as finding a practitioner, do you recommend that the practitioner be local, like to see you face to face, one on one? I mean, I know in our culture right now, we're doing a lot of Zoom stuff. We're doing a lot of online work. My practice is 95% online now when I see clients because of the quantum field and being able to work. Can a practitioner work at the highest level that their ability with someone who's through a screen? Like if I'm talking to you, is it something as a Bach Flower Rescue Remedy or a remedy practitioner? Can I create a blend for you when I'm not in front of you personally and on a screen?
That's definitely doable. I think the biggest conflict for in that situation would simply be getting the actual remedy to the person.
Gotcha.
So whether it be that if the practitioner has some sort of a delivery system in place, then yeah, that definitely can work. If the
Okay.
person that's looking for that via online, they have their own set of flower remedies and they can create the blend just based on the information that practitioner instructs them to. I guess that can definitely work as well. But I think that would really be the only problem with that dynamic for Bach flower practitioners.
Is there
Not
an expiration? Like when somebody blends something, does it have an expiration, or do you have to get it to them quick, or it has to be cold or anything like that?
It does have to be kept for the most part in a stable temperature or your cool environment. So if you leave them out in the sun, they can definitely start to create not mold per se, but just like they are natural remedies. So and every practitioner, there are some methods of helping to preserve them so that they do last longer, such as you can add some apple cider vinegar to it or a little bit of like some sort of alcohol to help maintain the flowers more stable. And it does not impact the effect that the remedy will have.
So I know we're getting ready to close our interview, but do you have any story, one glaring example of how the Bach essences have made an impact that you know of? Like, could you tell our listeners?
So as I mentioned, like you can use them really for everything every day, from helping communication to grief to depression, anxiety, sleeping. One situation that I got to see up close and I got to see through a whole process. So that was very impactful. Was helping somebody that was close to me through a process of grief. So his parent died and directly came to me of like, nope, I need help getting through this. And so immediately it was Rescue Remedy and then Star of Bethlehem to help them get through the shock and be able to just kind of process the information. And then second stage was helping them with a formula to be able to get through the memorial, through the service of dealing with both having to be present and talking with everybody without having the grief overpower them. And then once that was all done, I kept going with them on the process to help them process those emotions through the sadness of just coming to terms with the loss and seeing them slowly reintegrate to that new normal and getting through that. So seeing how different flowers were helped throughout the whole situation. It just depended on what stage of the process they were going through. That was very impactful to see.
And that's amazing. Again, I'd like to point out the fact that you weren't giving them something or guiding them to something that was not allowing them to feel, but allowing them to process their feelings in a way that was most beneficial for them. So it wasn't stripping them away of anything,
Mm-mm.
just giving them a little support to still have the feels, to still acknowledge those emotions, but just then to make the journey a little bit easier.
Exactly.
So beautiful. So if someone who's out there listening is curious, but maybe still a bit overwhelmed, what's the simplest first step that they can take? Or what can they do to learn more? Do you still practice? Would you have them reach out to you, or what do you suggest they do?
Definitely, if you don't know anything about them, one of the best ways to try and see what they feel like, the experience is like, going with finding a blend of rescue remedy. It's a blend of 5 remedies. That's great for just general stress and daily upsets. So that's a great way to just kind of get started and test it out, see what it's about. If there's something, if there's a specific flower that you're kind of drawn to, that's probably means that that flower is matching your emotional state, that there's something that of why that flower is calling you, and you can trust that intuition and start there and start taking that flower and see how it impacts you. It's very simple, so there's no need to overthink it, and sometimes it is as simple as just trust your intuition of like, if you're being called to have to the drops of water violet, you know what, maybe your system right now is telling you like you need a little help to open up and to communicate. So trust that. Definitely, if there's a specific issue, or you're like, you know what, this sounds super interesting and I would love to go deeper into it, you can look for a practitioner. I am definitely available for anybody that would want to have more information in terms of actually providing the blends. That might be a little hard just because of my location, depending on where everybody is. But for information purposes, I am more than happy for anybody that's interested, to have them reach out. There's also a lot of materials online and books, a lot of great resources available just in the general aspect of how Bach flower remedies work and what they're all about as well, for anybody that's interested.
That's beautiful. Thank you. I will get together off screen and I'll get your contact information and we can pop it below, and I'll put in some information that Jessica gives me about where to go online to find them as well, if you want to try it on your own. So Jessica, thank you so much for being here. I learned a lot. I'm really super excited. I mean, actually, like I want to learn this now.
Well, I'm very happy. I'm glad to be here, and I hope that it was useful and good information for everybody.
Beautiful. Thank you all for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to get more of these amazing practitioners like Jessica in your daily newsfeed. Enjoy, and don't forget that love is the only way to go. Ciao. Thank you for joining us today in this sacred space of remembrance and expansion. Every conversation here is an activation, an invitation to remember who you are, why you came, and the infinite light that moves through you. If this episode stirred something within, share it with someone whose soul is ready to awaken. You can connect with me, Sophia KeyRaphael West, and explore courses, retreats, and teachings at sophiawest.com or at Sophia West Wellness on Instagram. Until next time, stay luminous, stay curious, and keep alchemizing the ordinary into the extraordinary. This is the Noetic Alchemy podcast, where consciousness becomes creation. Much love.